G'day, we're the Traders with thanks to Sportsbet. I'm Roy, I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the WARNE
And
DAWGS.
Calvin.
Coach of the legendary CALVINATOR.
Boys, it's round 19, and that means one thing. It is the last round before final, so it is vital that we get our teams right this week. The ins and outs, how do they look?
Well, let's take a look at the outs. There's quite a few names here. Dusty Martin, of course, is the big one, most traded out because he's one of the most selected players. Season is over for him. But something new there, some players isolating. So we saw that last week with Mills and Green, but we've now got Rowan Marshall and also Josh Dunkley.
Unbelievable.
Those blokes will be out. So it's something we might be faced with week to week now as we go through the season. But also we've got some other rookies that are out. Which will hurt because cover is all important at this time of the season. And Marty was one of the most traded, and he's one of the guys there that has been omitted. So you've got no excuses to move him on now.
The party's over, isn't it? The party's over.
Some of the ins that we are looking at there include a couple of 170k rookies for the Pies and Roy's mate Finlay, 27 average McRae.
Yeah,
is back
guilty.
in.
I'll take what I can get.
The best one and the biggest one is our mate Whitfield. He is back.
Yep.
And Cal, you've got your mate Harmsy back as well.
Yeah, he had knee
Can't
infection.
believe you chose to
No, I didn't
trade.
choose.
You traded
Concentrate.
Whitfield over Harms.
Stick to the script.
Oh, all right. Well, now the big issue is obviously Dusty. Everyone's got him, need to move him and that sort of thing. But the Fords have a couple of dramas which they weren't named out there. Darcy, he's suggested that he may not play, or that he may play, that he should be right, sorry. But then there's the 50-50 chance of Josh Kelly. Okay. So that is the one. They play the last game of the round, so we might have to have some plan B, C, D, E, and so on.
Maybe an F.
What are we thinking? Where are you guys with
I
him?
think it's more like 75%.
You think he plays?
Yeah, and I think it'll come out earlier than, an hour before that game. So I'm willing just to go business as usual at the moment. But I do have, as you mentioned earlier, Finlay McRae as emergency
and
cover.
that's the thing, is it's about who you have on your bench as cover. So for me, it's Lockie Bramble.
Oh, that's
so
great.
for me, business as normal.
Yeah.
On the go.
Now, if you are going to trade, well, we definitely need an option for Dusty, but there's a few forwards there that I think are underpriced at the moment. And we've said it the last month, no apologies for saying it again, Jordan De Goey is still he is still an option. He's underpriced. His form is ridiculous. So you can get him in. I also like Kennedy coming off that 116. So yes, Cripper is back, but he showed with Cripps he's still got the CBAs and he can still pump out those 90s. So especially as a forward, I think he's a great option. And as a sort of straight swap for Dusty, I think Bolton's role is going to be great, and I think he can do 90 plus as well, and it doesn't cost you a cent, basically.
I love it.
I also like a bit of a flick of DPP.
Yeah.
And you might even grab someone like Jake Lloyd, who's
Great
priced very nicely
He
at the
is.
moment.
Yeah.
Or in the midfield, Roy, you got any options for us there?
Well, you could go Clayton Oliver in the midfield. He's certainly underpriced. If you're a bit cash-starved and you want a unique, Fiorini has always been able to score.
I know.
He gets dropped, and we never know why he gets dropped from time to time, but surely with the injuries they've got and the form he's in, he's a safe 100 for the rest of the year.
Safe 100.
Yeah.
Safe 100.
M8, safe 100, as long as he's picked.
Well, I'm looking at going the value of Oliver, regardless of what happens. So these are my plan A trades, assuming that Kelly plays there. So the Amati party is over. So that's what I'm doing. But I think Clayton Oliver is a great pick for this week.
So do I.
I'm backing him in for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, I've made no secret that I've got no bench, so no cash generation. So I'm going to this week try to generate some cash. So I'll go in with 250,000 next week, and that's basically Martin to Bolton and then a downgrade from Amati.
Now, I don't know if you knew, Roy, but I copped a little bit of criticism on my trades last week.
Did
by
you?
The W Dog over
yes,
here.
I did hear that.
You spend all your money too much.
No. So I'm copying your trades, basically. And I am going with Matt Kennedy instead of Shy Bolton. I think he's the better one out of the two.
I've already got Kennedy.
Awesome. Now, let's have a look at captain options for this week.
Gal.
Now, I have been in ripping form with captains. So I am going with number one, we are looking at Jack Steele, who has gone 148 in his last three. Now, he's up against Adelaide. Sorry, he's up against West Coast.
Right. Yep.
Now, against West Coast last week, Adelaide, Ben Keys has a 128, Rory Laird a 122. You would assume, based on form and opponent, he is going to have a truckload once again. Ollie Wines plays tonight. He's gone 3 140s in his last 5.
Massive.
Great vice captain option. Or Tom Piggy Mitchell, averaging 128 in his last 6. He's getting it done as well.
So the learnings out of this, though, is that Jack Steele will now probably suck after being so good that you're finally realising he's a great option for captain.
That's not true, Dom. I've been nailing my captains. What have you been watching?
Just had a couple of bad weeks.
No,
He'll
I
be back
haven't.
this week.
How it works, it is round 19. Last weekend before those finals, make sure your team is all set. You get yourself right and stay across all of the news, especially that Josh Kelly news.
Massive.
Let's hope. Hey, Giants, be really nice to us. Let us know,
let us know.
nice and early
That would be
it's
great.
definitely in or definitely out. Fingers crossed it's in.